Hey, welcome back to Tuesday. So there are events coming up shortly. One of them is this coming weekend. It's Northwest Majors up in the Pacific Northwest of the United States.
Yes, this is going to be a Capcom ranking event, so they will be getting some points and they will be getting a little bit extra bonus. So I think they get a, where do they say here? There's a little extra pop bonus for them, I'm pretty sure, I think, let me see. Yeah, so addition to the prospect of Capcom Tour ranking points and the guaranteed, so the guaranteed pot is for Skullgirls, actually.
Sweet.
Interesting. So there's a guaranteed $1,000 pop bonus for Skullgirls.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. And actually, to be honest with you, Northwest Majors is turning out to be a really, really strong Air Dasher game.
Yeah, it seems like it
tournament.
actually.
Yeah, because a lot of players are going up there to play some Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue and such, and even some of the guests who are going to be out there.
The guests are a big deal, I think, especially one of them.
Yeah, so one guest is Koji Koji, the Hawk player, right?
Right.
The crazy Hawk player.
SF4T Hawk.
Yeah, and then Dogura is going to be there, of course, second place in Blaze Blue at EVO for the crazy year 2 years ago. Or was it? No, last year. Sorry, it was last year. God, it felt so long ago now.
Yeah?
It feels long ago now. I don't know why. And then, of course, the big deal one is Ogawa, who is pretty much one of the greatest Eddie/Zato players in Guilty Gear history.
Right, yeah.
And he's never been to America.
That's the thing. And I remember him saying some months back that he wouldn't bother because he would just, I don't know what the phrasing was, but he didn't think that there was competition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was really impressed when I heard that announcement. You know, it's announced already a little while ago,
right?
But I'm still really impressed that they got him out there. I think that's really cool.
And a lot of people want to go out there and try their hand to see if they can body him. I mean, that's the way it works, right?
Of course, yeah.
Especially if he says that your whole country is not worth his time. Then
right.
You're gonna want to try to prove to him otherwise. But that's really cool. I'm super happy to hear that. And so I know a lot of the Guilty Gear players are heading up there and such.
Right.
So that's going to be super fun. And, they have this really interesting... So for Ultra Street Fighter 4, the way it is that if there's 200 entries or fewer, they get an extra $500 to the top two players. If you get 201 to 300 entries, they pay $750 to the top three players. So it's wow, look at this, it increases a lot. So if they get 301 to 400 players, they pay an extra $1,500 to the top four players, and if it's over 400 entries, they pay $2,000.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and Skullgirls is Melee is really similar. 250 entries gets $750 to the top four players, all the way down to 500 entrants getting $3,000 for the top six players.
That's awesome.
Bonus.
And like you said, guaranteed $1,000 for Skullgirls.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to Skullgirls and the Skullgirls community, because they have been keeping that alive and going so well.
Yeah, I mean, Combo Breaker is an event that's coming up, and
It'll be on the main stage. It's going to be one of the big games.
I think they said it has the second most entrants right now, or it's it's tied with Marvel, I think, or something. That's like around Marvel and close to Melee or something like that. Or
it finally happened. What?
Right.
When Skullgirls first came out, I was in one of my I don't like Marvel 3 modes, and then I loved the game after that. But then this was one of my down moments, which I'm currently in as well with Marvel 3. And I thought, man, can't Skullgirls just replace this game? Is it happening?
Maybe finally it's happening.
We'll talk more about Skullgirls later. There's other news going on with Skullgirls. So. Okay.
But so that's really cool. That's coming up this weekend. Pretty sure it's going to be streamed on twitch.tv/Team Chaos, and that of course is KHAOS. So Team Chaos, check that out. Should be fun. Should be a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a blast to watch. I'm just, look, I don't even follow Guilty that much, but I will definitely tune in for part of that to see if anybody can come close.
There's another interesting little sub-story that's going into there, speaking of Marvel, actually. I think, Justin and Chris G said they might be going there. Filipino Champ is so far, I think, the 5-time undefeated champion of Northwest Majors. I think he's won all 5 years or 4 years or however many years that's been there.
Was last year the year at Northwest Majors where he and Nemo had a really good set?
Oh, I think that might have been, actually.
I think it might have been.
Yeah, but regardless, he's won first place every year that they've had Marvel.
Wow.
And now Justin and Chris G are going to be there.
Yeah,
so
okay.
that's actually going to be an interesting story. Let's see if Filipino champ can keep his streak
That's
alive.
cool.
Yeah.
There's definitely, all right. I like that. I certainly love watching all three of those guys play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, this is kind of related to the next item, but Tekken 7 is going to be at Northwest Majors as well. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out and you're anywhere near the area, you can go ahead and watch and play, get some hands-on that Tekken 7.
Cool.
And the reason why I brought that up as well is because one of the upcoming events in May, second week of May, is Texas Showdown, and they just announced that they too will be getting Tekken 7 there.
It seems like they are really delivering on the promise to bring it to players a lot, as much as they could, because it's at a lot of tournaments. It's it feels like every other week you can go play it somewhere in North America, which is awesome. That's the best they could do, really.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So very, very, very cool.
Yep. And then one more little bit of news is that EVO just put out the call for judges. Every year they rely on a lot of volunteer judges to help run all of the pools, because there's a crap load of pools.
Right.
On Thursday night they usually do a judge training. So if you can get there Thursday night, you do the judge training. You get special T-shirts and special judge shirts that nobody else gets. And usually there's a little meal thing for judges and stuff like that. So if you want to help run brackets there, if you want to help run the pools, definitely check that out. Just go to SRK and do a search for Lend a Hand and EVO, and then you should be able to find that there.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. That's cool.
Okay.
So that was some upcoming tournament stuff. Now we'll switch over to games.
Yep, game news. But of course, what is the hot topic of today, or currently of the week, I should say, and that is Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat
Actually,
X.
I did that wrong. I should say, and it is Mortal Kombat. No, I can't.
You don't want to just go all the way with that, huh? Matt, we're in a basement right now.
That's true.
Nobody's gonna hear you.
I still want to kill the microphone, right?
You know what? Rationalize it as you must. All right, so
because I was actually just gonna go. I was gonna say the whole thing and then start doing the techno music too. So
But. I mean, look, if you say that, you have to do the techno music as a follow-up.
Oh man.
Okay. So Mortal Kombat X, there's been a lot of interesting stuff. The game has been out officially for a week, I guess.
Yeah.
And 1 week. Loved the game. I've played it a lot.
Okay.
A lot. In fact, on this channel, if people have had a chance to see, I've been doing a ton of lab stuff.
Right.
I've been in training mode, streaming it.
Right. Can they hear you? Can they hear you?
I plugged in a mic.
Oh wow! So they can actually hear you on that. Okay, that's really cool.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's so convenient.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my computer right next to my PlayStation, so I totally could hook it up and just stream. But
right.
I mean, why bother?
It's so easy to do it that way. Yeah, for sure.
So I've been playing it a lot in training mode. Offline just a little bit. Online not at all until this morning.
Right.
Kind of a disappointment, but in line with what everybody else was saying.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit this morning. Yeah. You said that you had some. I mean, was it just like how far behind was the lag when you were hitting buttons?
A second, maybe 3/4 of a second.
Really?
It was just terrible.
Dang.
I mean, you could see it as soon as it went to character select, and I was like, let's go left. I was playing Kano. I was like, what character could I play that's going to be really oppressive in lag? So I picked Kano to just throw knives, and I thought that would be really hard to beat. It was. I beat a couple of people that way. But then the last one was some guy who was just he must have been born and raised in the lag, he was hitting all of his Sub-Zero combos, and he got me into the corner, and he somehow hit confirmed the fact that he did the overhead, or else he was just going to do double overhead and see what happens. I don't know.
Dude, I tell you, he's a former X-Band player.
Right, yeah. It's just, it sucked. It was bad. And what's funny is that I used to play Injustice Online, and it wasn't that terrible for me, and I had a much worse internet connection. An order of magnitude worse internet connection, 2 orders of magnitude worse internet connection, now that I think about it. And it was better, for me personally, than for me now on MKX. So I was just
yeah, it's really interesting. So I mentioned this a little bit earlier. I've gone online twice now, right?
Yeah.
So the first time was a player room. So I was playing with the Reverb game guys. One of my friend works there, so I just jumped in there, and it wasn't that bad. I really didn't have that many problems with it. Like I was able to play pretty decently. I was missing a couple of the really crucial links,
okay.
you know, and stuff like that. Like I was having trouble getting my run into 1-1-1 combos and stuff like that, you know, that require very precise timing.
Okay.
But it wasn't that terrible. Then I went on and played ranked, and it wasn't that bad for me either there too. And I mean, okay, granted my internet's really good. I have files, right? So my internet's really good. But I will say though that in between matches took a long time. Like it would basically be search for next opponent, connecting online. Like I literally busted out my phone and started playing games on my phone while I was just waiting for that to finally get to a match. I mean, it took a while, but then every time I got into the match, it was strangely decent. So
you know, maybe it's one of those situations where it's just a person dependent. Like I remember telling you that my connections on Marvel 3 were actually not that bad, and I felt like I could play. And you told me like it was just not even.
I couldn't do anything.
Couldn't do it.
I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are saying like, oh, you know, it's really bad when some people. I mean, people are having different experiences. Like,
Of
I mean,
course.
I've even had Maximilian say that he's played some matches that are good and some matches that are bad. It's not consistently one way.
Right.
So I don't know if I just got lucky and I got nothing but good connections.
Maybe
you know?
I got unlucky. I've only played one morning.
Yeah,
So
trust me.
I gotta try it more often, certainly.
I know about bad lag. Like, if lag is even remotely there, I get so angry. That's why I could never play Marvel. And Marvel was bad. I had lag problems on that one. But this one, like I said, I was getting most of my combos and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
It's really
I'll
weird.
definitely keep trying it out.
Oh, yeah.
Because I like the game to the point that I'm willing to suffer to some degree. Probably not for long stretches at any one time. But I'll definitely try it out again.
It's really a shame, too, because it's going to hurt the game so badly, especially with all these online tournaments and people who want to get good. I mean, the Street Fighter online is not perfect, but
No.
it's pretty decent.
Much better.
And that's how we tell everybody to go train.
Right.
Like, how do I learn Street Fighter? Go play online if you can. But this, I mean, even if you have amazing connection and you end up with this crappy lag, I mean, let's put it this way. I even said, because I tweeted, I was like, my connections haven't been that bad.
Yeah.
And PR Rog was like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, he literally went into one game and then unplugged it and then just played against hard computers, what he said.
Right.
Because he said it was that bad. And I told PR Rog, I was like, my connections were fine, but you know what? 90% of the people that I see talking agree with you.
Right.
Everybody has said it's really, really terrible. So I'm not even trying to defend it. I'm just saying I got lucky somehow, and I'll keep trying to see if I keep getting lucky that way. But from what I can tell, the lag is really bad because everybody is really angry about it. So
It's such a missed opportunity. It really, we talked about this ESL thing and how
it's a really good
it's
question.
rough to deal with.
So Beats by Noel Brown asks, why does the game always say connecting to online when you're already connected? Yeah, I don't understand that. Like after a ranked match is over, you hit button, it's like connecting to online.
I don't get it.
Wasn't I this there? So,
I don't get it. So I was walking around, I was like walking to work today and I was like, I had this just sort of feeling that I felt looking back on like high school, and I found out later that there was this girl I had a huge crush on, and it turns out I found out years later that she liked me, and I totally could have asked her out.
Okay.
But I didn't.
Okay.
Because I made the wrong choice. Something I don't know. I was too. I couldn't do it at the time. I was not outgoing at all. Very shy. But I have this sense looking back that like, man, what a missed opportunity. And I get like this feeling that's just sort of like, it's like a little pain in the heart, you know? There's like a little in the gut of my stomach. I'm like, ugh. If I had just done it a little bit differently, it would have been so sick. That's how I feel about MKX.
Wow.
I feel like there's such a great chance for the fighting game community as a whole to grow.
This really is like FGC missed connections. Like literally, it is.
I feel like they gave that up. They gave it up. You know, they put in all of this time to create an excellent game. So I love it. The story even is good. The graphics they improved.
Right, except for Katana.
Sure, but in general, so much better. I was thinking about this. The music. There is a track that I can recognize.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's not the best, but like when I
Okay.
hear it, I'm like, oh, that's from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, okay.
Never happened to me before. So they put all these things in, all this work, and then they forgot the part that lets you play it.
And honestly, that's what killed a lot of games. That's what kills a lot of games. Like, I really honestly think KOF 13 would have done a lot better if the netcode was better.
Yeah.
You know?
Everybody had positive things to say about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't my favorite game, but I liked it, and I would have played it a lot, and maybe I would have really liked it if I had gotten to play it more.
Exactly. And you know what? I might have actually gotten decent at Marvel if I could have played that online, frankly, you know? So, dude, it's ugh. Yeah. But I mean, as great of a game as it is, there's still a lot of problems with the game.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, we talked about this yesterday when we were doing the character stuff. It's a lot of times things happen, you're like, it's Mortal Kombat.
Right.
Because you're just like, you know what? All the people making the game, they're smart, but they can't code worth a damn or something, dude. I swear.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to put them on blast too hard, but... They could use an improvement in the coding programming department. That's for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there are these crazy option selects that have been figured out for the game already. Couple examples are one that uses a code that was in Injustice that I didn't even know about, where if you press the 1, 2, 3 buttons while you're doing a special move, and the button that you're canceling from connects on the opponent, you'll get the EX version. Mm-hmm. They left it in. It was in Injustice. I guess they forgot to take it out when it comes to canceling. It's still in there.
Because you can do it, yeah.
Because you can do it. They have said that they're going to remove that, but that's very strange, and it even has weirder things on top of it, where sometimes you'll input those 1, 2, 3 buttons, and you'll come out with the 4-button special move instead. So I don't know how the connections work there. It's like jumps like 2 rows of code.
Dude, some things, like, for example, if you do that code on block, it'll come out with a chain. On hit, it comes out with the EX special move, right? Even though you're not touching block or whatever like that. On some moves, same character, different chain. Sometimes on hit, now all of a sudden it'll chain, but on block it'll be the special move. Like, it's so janky. It's so weird. Like... Yeah. Literally, I mean, we've complained about this in Ultra Street Fighter 4 as well. Like, it's ridiculous to me that you can adjust all these little... Like, there's no universal value for half the things like block stun and hit stun. Like, every move just has their own value for it and stuff like that, right? Same thing goes with MK, right? Like, just let the system take care of things. And you put in exceptions. That is the way you should be coding these fighting games, right? So, canceling shouldn't be... You can cancel this, but if these buttons are hit, like this one cancels, it should just be look, this move can be canceled in these frames if you enter this code, and if it happens, do this, right? I mean, I'm simplifying it. Obviously, I'm a programmer. I know it's not that easy. Yeah. I know everything goes wrong all the time, but I don't know. This is like on another order of magnitude of craziness, you know.
Right, because the other option select that you addressed, but it gets crazy, is the fact that you can abuse the fact that hit stop and block stop and armor stop are all different.
Is that really how this option select is working?
I really think that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. And not just that, but the window to cancel seems like it's different if a move hits or is blocked or touches armor.
Right.
Not even just the fact that you're stopped in hit stop or whatever, but like I feel like literally you can cancel earlier if it hits.
Okay.
So you can abuse that to do very silly things.
Right.
Like the Sub-Zero one that Al-Yun found, that on hit you get Ice Ball Freeze, which is amazing on hit. But you can't just walk around pressing like forward into Ice Ball, because it takes forever to come out, and it's negative on block. Yeah, It does nothing on chip, so it's terrible. But you can guarantee it like that. On block in that situation, you get Ice Clone, which means that you are now safe behind your Ice Clone, hanging out. Some characters can punish that, but a lot cannot, and so you're just... it's completely free footsies. Forward 4 into if I hit you, I deal a lot of damage, and we have the corner, and now here's Ice Clone corner trap situation, and on block, oh well, I still have control because Ice Clone. That's broken.
Yeah, Kung Lao, they were also showing, like, so Kung Lao had one where basically you do the overhead, which is back 2 or forward 2, one of those. But then you do the code, and if it hits, then you cancel in the spin, and you get a big juggle, and if it doesn't, nothing comes out. It just doesn't cancel. And the way the guy explained it was, you just add extra inputs. So he would actually do overhead, before the overhead hit, input spin, and then down.
Right.
And because that down was in there, just because he put that down in there, like, it confuses the game so that on block it won't cancel, but on hit it does.
Right.
And it's just, I mean, I haven't messed with it yet. I want to try it out to see how hard it is.
It's not hard.
Okay.
I looked for the same thing. I found the same thing. With Codal, you can make it so that you have strings that stuff only comes out on block or versus armor, doesn't come out on hit, or that it comes out on hit and not on block, etc. There's like 3 things. And you can make it whichever one you want.
Right.
And the timing is really not that tough. And yeah, like what I was doing was, I think I was doing forward 3/4, the little kick string that goes in the launcher, the little kick launcher, canceling it into stuff, and then pressing like down back after that, canceling it to down toward moves, and pressing down back after that. And if I press down back, nothing would come out ever. And if I press down, things would come out on hit. Yeah, I have to keep it in mind.
See, even the glitch is inconsistent.
That's what I'm worried about. Is that it really is just going to be some crazy inconsistency that's just built on
code layer on top of code layer, and they're literally going to have to go to every move and be like off, or something
Dude,
like that.
You know what? Speaking of what you were talking about how you want it to be coded such that it just works, and then maybe you write an exception in. I think it has to be coded in for every single thing. That's really how it seems to me.
Yeah, that's
for every single move you say, okay, codal toward 1, which is cancelable. You can cancel into this move. 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 He doesn't have any moves you can't cancel into. But I really don't think that they said you can cancel. I think they said these all work.
Right.
And I think that part of what that did is that, so there's a tweet by Paulo, the lead game designer, that kind of implies this, that there are different recognition points for each special move as far as when they're picked up in a cancel. And so I think part of what might be happening is that when you do this 1, 2, 3 thing, what the game is doing is it's seeing, okay, in this situation, which is the first special move that I can cancel into? And it does that one. And that's how they code, that's the first one.
Right.
And then if that one's not available for whatever reason, let's move on to the second one. I think that it's not even the case that like there's just a priority of like a hierarchy.
Yeah, because that's how it works in Street Fighter. There's
game.
Okay.
But no, I really think that it's just like there's an order where they can be. This one is cancelable from these frames.
But also for every move, it seems like the order is different, right? It doesn't seem like it's a consistent order.
Does.
Yeah, I mean
It's really janky. So
the concern that you brought up on Twitter is that now you're scared everything is just going to be safe, and so it's just going to be this really like it's almost going to be like I poke you, you poke me. I poke you, you poke me. Who chips the other guy to death first? Because everything is going to be safe, right?
Yeah. So, and if I hit, then so we talked yesterday about Jackie. We did this. We did a character breakdown. We did a MKX intro analysis stuff. Jackie, her toward 2 or back 2, I forget which one's the overhead, cannot be canceled into the back forward 2 special on block. It just doesn't work. And same with her back 3/3 low. You just can't do it.
Right.
I feel you, and we both agree. That seems like an oversight. Okay.
Because basically now you just input the code into the launcher, and so if it hits, you get the big old combo with the restand on the shotgun, and if it's blocked, your moves are safe.
Yeah.
And you don't even need to hit confirm. You just throw it out there, and it works.
That seems like a mistake, right? Yeah. That seems like it's something they should fix. But what if every character had that? Not just in mix-ups, but in the mid-range.
Yeah.
I think that's the potential of these option selects.
Right.
To like really just make it not interesting.
Yeah. The gameplay could potentially suffer pretty badly from this.
Yeah.
So the solution of this may be Spectral Ermac, because then he'll destroy everybody.
So Spectral Ermac, if he goes into the air and he does his, I think, down back 2.
It's actually 2 moves now, they found out. It's the Fireball and the Teleport.
Oh, it's the Teleport.
Both of them build 1 bar.
Wow. Yeah.
A full bar.
It just happens.
A full bar, yeah.
He doesn't have to hit or anything. It just builds.
Mm-hmm. Like, literally, there's a combo that if you hit them, you get 2 bars.
Mm-hmm.
If you just choose not to use it. And Tom Brady also showed another combo. It was like, do the move, hit, you get a bar, use an EX, and then you hit him again and build another bar. So basically, you start with 0 bar, you get an EX in the combo, and you end with 1 bar. Or if you choose not to do the EX in the middle, you end up with 2 bars.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, right? If you combo breaker, you launch him across the screen. I'm pretty sure you get a float into Fireball to get 1 more bar. So basically, your combo breakers will always cost 1 bar. And then if you're playing the zoning game, and the opponent doesn't approach, and you do it 1 more time, you have a combo breaker again. And now it doesn't even matter if you do a block breaker or a combo breaker. If they touch you, breaker them, because you'll get half of that back every single time. So basically, if you have 3 bars and someone hits you and you break them, boom, you have another breaker. And they touch you, boom, you hit them away,
right.
You have half a breaker.
Right.
They don't get next to you, I've got a breaker again. Like, it's a problem.
It's definitely a problem.
And I saw some people who are like, look, I'm not the kind of guy that cries ban. I think this was L.I. Joe. He was like, I'm not the kind of guy who just insta reaction like, ban that, you know? But he was like, you can't have this. He's like, this is too cheap.
I mean, personally, I think I would let it rock just because I know that NRS will change it like next week.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, if this was like we had to deal with this forever, fine.
Right, yeah.
Boop, out of here. But it's going to be gone in like a week, folks.
Yeah.
So
hopefully they'll have it.
Have fun in the meantime. That's really my position on this.
No, it's true. But you know what's interesting? Someone was actually complaining about this too. I think it was Vasant who was complaining about this, and he was just like, the constant patching kind of hurts him because every time he finds something really good and interesting, he's like, I'm not even going to practice getting good at this because it's going to get patched out.
That's the worry.
Yeah. So, and it's really interesting because I'm really curious to see how, because like Skullgirls, we talked about this before, they patch all the time. You know, every time a new version comes out, there's balance changes. We'll get into that in a little bit as well. And they seem to be fine with it. They don't seem to have any huge problems with it. But, I mean, obviously, Mike also puts down extensive notes.
Right.
I mean, he's the one making the changes. So
right. You can talk to Mike. You can, like, get him on the forums. He's on there. Or, like, give him a call. Like, he's accessible.
And it's not like he's, like, going to all the developers, what did you change? And hope the developers remembers everything.
Right.
Like, he's actually literally the one making the changes. So he could make good notes. So,
right.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well...
KI does it too. KI gets a lot of patch changes all the time. So it's really interesting. We're kind of reaching this weird era where things are getting patched frequently, and I wonder if that's good or bad. I haven't figured it out yet. You know what I mean? It really depends on if they know what they're doing.
That's for sure. Well, I think pretty highly of the people who are balancing MKX.
Mm-hmm.
I like I said, I really like the game. The gameplay itself, I think, is really good.
Yeah.
I think the balance seems like it's reasonable. I mean, I think that there are some issues that they should take a look at, but nothing that's obvious or game breaking as far as balance goes, other than straight up glitches. Right. So, as far as them making good balance decisions, I think they can do that.
Yeah.
But the question is, how frequently is it going to come, and
And not only that, but what side effects are you going to run into?
Right, yeah. What code are they going to break?
You have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So,
anyway.
Also, one other last thing, bad news for MK, unfortunately, was that there was an article that was saying, like, oh, look, all the DLC is on here. Like, Baraka and all these characters and all this stuff is already on disc. And Boone was like, you guys are crazy, do your research, you're completely wrong. And then someone hacked the PC version and they played Baraka and they played...
For real? I hadn't heard about that.
Oh, you hadn't heard about this?
No.
Oh, no. There's actually YouTube videos of Baraka, like, running up, chopping people and throwing people.
Well, I mean, he's in the story mode. So right. You play against him.
Right. So some of it... So they figured out a way to replace Shinnok with these characters. It was Baraka. There was 2 other characters. I can't remember which ones they were.
Like Rain is in.
Yeah, Rain.
Okay.
Rain was
and
one
then
of them.
Tanya, you can also play against.
Yeah. I think they had those 3 in there, and so they're in the game, but they get some of Shinnok's normals, but they have their full special moves and full like throws and stuff like that. Like they have full animations on there.
I mean, that doesn't seem surprising to me because again, you can play against those characters. They're in the story mode.
Oh, so you actually fight.
You actually fight against them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like Sindel, I think also.
Oh, okay. Well, then
there's
that's
4.
not even that.
That doesn't seem that big a deal. I thought.
Sindel was the other one. It wasn't Tanya. It was Sindel. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But I guess I thought that you were going to say that you could play as like Jason or Predator or something.
Oh, right.
I think that's what Boone was talking about.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I'm pretty sure that they're not finished with those. Maybe Jason, because I don't know. But
right.
The other ones, I don't think so. But but these characters, like I said, if you play through story mode,
if they're in story mode, then whatever. Then that's obvious that you could probably hack that out in that way. And then that's not that big of a deal then.
Yeah,
I haven't played story mode yet. I need to play that then. So
it's cool to play against those characters. You know, you can see what they do.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well.
That's a lot of ragging on MKX, but I just want to reiterate, I really like the game. I'm having a blast with the gameplay, and if you are on the fence about getting it, I highly recommend it because it's really, really fun.
Yeah, again, I love the creativity that they came with that they made with this game. Like even just like I don't even use any of the Ferrotor combination variants right now. But it's just such a neat idea as a character. Yeah. Like, you have the 2 characters and he throws the other. I mean, I guess it's kind of like CVS2 Chang and Choi. It's
basically Chang and Choi, right?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of true.
But what if like in S-Groove, like you just didn't have Choi?
Yeah.
It was just Chang.
And Chang never grabs Choi and swings him around, dude.
No, he just tells him what to do, right?
Exactly. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Goro's on disc because he's unlocked right away.
I played him.
Yeah, he's unlocked right away, so that's not a surprise. So
yeah,
but yeah, it's again the whole. So even if the netcode is bad, there's so much one-player content in the game. So there's a lot of stuff to do in the game, and it's super fun. So I'm enjoying it right now. We'll see what happens because unfortunately there is a lot of negative stuff to talk about, and a lot of people bring up things like Street Fighter Cross Tekken, like came out. Busted game. Yeah. Everybody didn't like it. Patch came out, fixed it. Too late.
Same with Injustice.
Evo tournament. Superman made it boring, and then they patched it, made it way better, and everyone was like, "Game is boring." Yeah, it's too late. So you really gotta strike while the iron's hot, pretty much. So
we'll see. Hopefully, you don't think back and think you could have asked this hot girl out 15 years ago. 15 years ago, literally.
How did you even find out?
Or
is this like not?
How did I even find? It's a good question.
Yeah.
It must have just been some mutual friend.
Oh, okay.
I really don't remember that, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah. But a girl I had a crush on for like 3 years. This is like not like a fleeting crush. It was like I had all these classes with her, like, but I think I talked to her like 5 times.
Oh right,
for like 3 years.
For sure.
I mean, you know how it goes.